You can now use Photoshop inside of Chat GPT. Right now, I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to use it, and also show you what the limitations are. Let's jump in. So Photoshop is now available in the chatbot Chat GPT. I'm going to show you how to connect it, how to use it, and then explain why would you want to use it if you already have Photoshop. So first of all, let's make it work. So the first thing you want to do is go to chatgpt.com. And if you don't already have an account, create one. I have a paid account, but you can still connect Photoshop even if you don't have a paid account. So to connect Photoshop, we're going to go to our account. Then we're going to go under Settings. Then you're going to see Apps and Connectors. This is where we see Photoshop. By the way, Adobe Express and Acrobat have also been added, as well as lots of other things, including Spotify and your Gmail. So let's add Photoshop. What you want to do is choose Connect. You don't have to have a Photoshop account to connect this. You can use it absolutely free, even if you don't have an Adobe account. Let's go back. Okay, once we've connected Photoshop, now we're going to be using it inside of ChatGPT. I have the paid account and I'm using ChatGPT 5.2. Now to invoke Photoshop, we're just going to hit the little plus here, go under More, and choose Adobe Photoshop. Now you'll see a little plus button. This is where we can load an image in and we can start to work with it. So why don't we start? We're going to add a photo. Okay, so let's bring this photo that I took of Taylor Davis. All right, and let's see if we can add a vintage color grade. Just hit Enter to apply it. Now, this did not work inside of Safari. And if you got that error message that I got, then try opening it in Chrome. All right, this is what we've got here, and that was in real time. That's how long it took to generate this. Now, one of the things that makes it unique when we're using Photoshop inside of ChatGPT is we have these sliders. So we can click, and this will take us into the full screen, and we can make adjustments. So it looks like this has created a tritone. So we could adjust the highlight and shadow balance. Okay. We can also add or remove contrast. Let's reduce the contrast a little bit. And will this let us change the midtone? So if we click on some greens here, we could play around with these. And then we'll just go out of full screen mode. So using the Photoshop add-on, we can adjust things like color and we can apply a range of effects. We can't do things such as removing or doing any generative AI work using this particular method. Let's try something else. Let's add another photograph. I'm going to hit the plus. All right. And I've got this picture here of the lion. So what if we want to make the background black and white? So it can do a certain amount of work with selections here. So let's see how well this works. Okay, so it's isolated the lines and converted the background to black and white. So let's have a look. We're going to click on our little sliders. And if I look at this, the subject is not very good. It has not cut out these greens here. It's a so-so adjustment. And it looks like it's using a photocopy adjustment. So we could adjust that. And we could change the shadow and highlight colors. So it's not bad, but the problem, of course, is it's missed some of the leaves here. Okay, so it hasn't been able to isolate the leaves from the lion, so the selections are not very great on this one. Let's have a look at a different example. All right, let's grab this one, and maybe we could change the color of here at top to red. All right, so if we scroll down, we see our adjustments. And if we change the hue, okay, great. So what it's done is it's isolated her tank top here. And we can change it to red. We can make it a lighter red, a darker red. All right, I'm looking at this and these edges are not very good. But maybe if we open it in Photoshop, we can fix those edges. So we're going to choose to open in Photoshop. It's going to create a link, and then it's ready. So this is using Photoshop for the web. And you can use some of these features for free, so you don't have to have an account for this. So if we change the hue, we could change it to a red. Let's bring that lightness back a little bit. There we go, that's a better color. All right, and if we wanted to paint that, we can paint with white. Okay, you could sort of... Okay, so I think if you were really good, you might be able to fix this, but let's be honest, it would be a lot quicker to just do this inside of Photoshop. So as far as this, I'm going to give this a fail, and let's try something else. Okay, let's give this one a comic book effect. All right, let's see what we've got for settings here. All right, this looks like it's using the halftone pattern from the gallery effects filter in Photoshop. Of course, all the effects it can use are the ones here. These are from the effects inside Photoshop for web. All right, let's play around with the... All right, let's change the size of these dots. All right. That one doesn't seem to work too bad. So the halftone effect works pretty good. Let's try something else. Let's see if we can maybe do a watercolor. All right, got this nice picture from the super bloom of flowers. Turn into a watercolor. All right. So this is giving me options of different settings here. So there's the current photo. So we're not going to be using that. Okay, so we have the option to use the bloom. I don't think so. What else have we got? Grain. I don't really want grain or bloom. Neither of those are going to give me a watercolor effect. Okay, so clearly I can't really do a watercolor effect. That is a fail. Let's go ahead and we're going to try something else. Let's try blurring the background of a photo. All right, why don't we grab this and we see if we can blur the background on this. And we're going to do blur background. All right, let's see how this looks. Let's grab our little sliders here and we can adjust the strength. Okay, it looks like we have a slight problem with this. Well, a couple of problems. One, notice as I'm blurring this, it's blurring the edge of him. It's creating an edge halo. The other problem is it's not including the card. Okay, so what if we ask it to do that? So let's just back out of here and we'll ask it to include the card. All right, so we're asking it to include the wagon in the blur. Okay, great. Now it's included the wagon. That's awesome. But these edge halos are just... no. These are not even... So clearly these edge halos make this unusable. I couldn't use this. Okay, another thing I want to look at is the resolution. If we look here, we can see this is 42 by 5,700. Okay, here we go. And we are going to grab the adjustments. All right, so we could do the color temperature. We could warm that up a little bit. And what can we do with the tint? All right, that definitely looks a lot better. So let's download the image. So if we click here, we can download the image here. All right, so if we look at it here, it looks like it's down-resing it to 2K. So unless we're using this for anything other than posting on social media, we are going to lose resolution. Okay, so we're going to lighten the shadows and make the subject pop. All right, so it's giving me this options again. Okay, so the one I probably would want to use is highlights and shadows. Okay, so it's only adjusting me, so I can definitely make the subject pop here. Let me see, I'll just make that pop. Great. Keep that selected, and let's see if I can brighten image. All right, so maybe we'll do this with exposure. Okay, so we can do that. All right, so I really wanted to just make the darks a little bit lighter. Okay, so I could definitely do that. Now, unfortunately, I can't remove the person from behind me. If I wanted to do that, I would have to open this inside of Photoshop. This will open it in Photoshop for the web. Okay, so I want the remove tool. And let's see. Oh, sort of got her. Let's get the leg. All right, so I was able to do that. All right, so I could download the image and I'd be good to go. There's no way to get it back into Chat GPT without downloading it and then bringing it back in again. So personally for me, if you're experienced in Photoshop, it is a lot faster to do this in Photoshop and a lot more accurate to do it in Photoshop than to do it in here. I'm going to be very honest. These results are very mediocre at best. I'm not really impressed with them at all myself. However, where this might be useful for is someone that's not really experienced at image editing, I definitely consumer level, maybe even someone like your mother or your grandmother, and they've got some holiday photos and they want to just kind of touch them up a little bit or make some adjustments to them and they don't know how to use the adjustment tools inside of their phone or any other editing program. So typing in this prompt to make these basic image adjustments feels like a lot more work than it needs to be for the quality of the result that I'm getting. All right, so I got to be honest, I'm not impressed with these results. You can get a much better job inside of Photoshop, Lightroom, even on a phone app. You can do it quicker and with better results. Some of the effects are working okay, some are so-so. In my opinion right now, it's not really working that well. And it's kind of interesting because I see that Adobe is pushing this out there because, there's hundreds of millions of users on ChatGPT. Obviously, Adobe wants to get in there and get people exposed to Photoshop. But I feel like it's like going on a world tour before your band has got the songs down. You haven't learned the songs yet. Exposure to a lot of people is great if you perform well. Exposure to masses of people, if you don't perform well, can be very detrimental. So I hope they make some improvements very quickly. So this might be okay for someone that has no background in image editing, that doesn't have an eye that can spot these obvious flaws. Definitely not for a professional, but maybe someone just trying to bang something out and put it on social media. Maybe it will work for them. I'm sure this is going to change in the future, and when it does, I will do a new video, hopefully highlighting about how great this is. But for now, I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments underneath, and if you're new, welcome to the cafe. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and you won't miss any of my tutorials. And until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.